Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Bids and Awards Committee of the Department of Public Works and Highways, Bulacan 3rd DEO, I would like to welcome everyone to this pre-bid conference for Project 26CP0014 CSSP Basic Infrastructure Program BIP access roads and bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road Barangay Partida, San Miguel, Bulacan, Station 0 to Station 0 plus 212.05. 26CP0015 CSSP Basic Infrastructure Program BIP access roads and bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings facilities. Construction of road Barangay Santa Lucia, San Miguel, Bulacan, Station 0 to Station 167.1. Allow me first to acknowledge the presence of the members of the Bids and Award Committee, Engineer Rochelle Ann Garcia, Engineer Maria Roxanne Laguador, the BAC Secretariat, Engineer Jomar Mendoza, Engineer Princess Bonifacio, Mico De Jesus, Brian Capule, Engineer Donita Galdones, Engineer Jolina Macabante, and Mark Kenneth Tamayo. And the Technical Working Group, Engineer Mara Christine Tamayo, Engineer Queenie Torrefiel, Engineer Edgardo Andan, Engineer Louie Nagit, and Engineer Geneva Marie Tyson present today. Having a quorum, we can now proceed. We also acknowledge the presence of the representative from the end user unit and other personnel assisting the BAC in the conduct of this procurement activity. The following observers were notified and invited during the conduct of procurement conference. Center for National Budget Legislation, they were notified via email on May 26, 2026. State Auditor of DPWH Bulacan 3rd DEO, the document were hand-carried and duly not acknowledged as received by respective offices. NACAP, they were notified by email on May 26, 2026. Office of the Governor, they were notified via email on May 26, 2026, and the documents were hand-carried and duly acknowledged as received by their respective offices. Office of the Mayor of San Miguel, they were notified via email on May 26, 2026, and the documents were hand-carried and duly acknowledged as received by their respective offices. Office of the Bulacan 3rd Congressional District, they were notified via email on May 26, 2026, and the documents were hand-carried and duly acknowledged as received by their respective offices. May I ask the BAC Secretariat if there are prospective bidders present today, whether in person or attending through online platform? Thank you. This pre-bid conference is being conducted to provide prospective bidders the opportunity to seek clarification on any aspect of the procurement process, including the eligibility requirements, technical specification, and other provisions of the bidding documents. At this point, allow me to read the invitation to bid and bid data sheet for the project for contract ID 26CP0014 with contract name of CSSP Basic Infrastructure Program BIP access roads and bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, Barangay Partida, San Miguel, Bulacan, with Station 0 to Station 0 plus 212.05, with contract location at San Miguel, Bulacan, scope of work, roads, construction, PCCP. Approved budget for the contract is 4,659,755 pesos and 68 centavos. With source of funds, JAFY 2026, contract duration is 37 calendar days. The major category of works, RCP, roads, construction, PCCP, and the similar category of works, RRP and RCTP, based on DO 164 series of 2025. Prospective bidders should be one registered with and classified by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board with pickup license category of CND for small b. Next is 26CP0015 with contract name of CSSP, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, access road and bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, Barangay Santa Lucia, San Miguel, Bulacan, with Station 0 to Station 167.1. Contract location is at San Miguel, Bulacan, scope of works, roads, construction, PCCP. Approved budget for the contract is 4,659,840.79 and 79 centavos. Source of funds, JAFY 2026. Contract duration is 37 calendar days. The major category of works, RCP, roads, construction, PCCP. Similar category of works, RRP and RCTP, based on DO 164 series of 2025. Prospective bidders should be one registered with and classified by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board with pickup license category of CND for small b. Completion of the works is required within 37 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids, a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instructions to Bidders. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizen, sole proprietorship, cooperatives and partnership, or organization with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizen of the Philippines. Interested bidders may obtain further information from DPWH Bulacan 3rd District Engineering Office and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. during weekdays. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders on May 29, 2026 to June 23, 2026 from the address below and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 5,000. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidder shall pay applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee Secretariat through manual submission of the address indicated below or online electronic submission through the electronic bidding facility of the PhilJeps, as indicated below on or before June 23, 2026, 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 16. Bid opening shall be on June 23, 2026, 10 a.m. at Bidding Room, Procurement Unit, DPWH Bulacan 3rd DEO, Graceville Subdivision, Tambubong, San Rafael, Bulacan, and or via Zoom and live stream on YouTube. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. All bids shall be accompanied by a sworn statement of no relation as required by Section 81 of the IRR of RA 12009, declaring that the bidder is not related by consanguinity or affinity up to the third civil degree of the head of the procuring entity, members of the BAC, TWG, BAC Secretariat, the head of the PMO or end user unit, project consultant, or procurement agent of the procuring entity. In addition, bidder shall submit a disclosure of beneficial ownership in accordance with Section 81 and 82 of the IRR of RA 12009. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in this bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works application at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. The contractor's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile eligibility process and subject to further post-qualification. Information on registration can be obtained from the procurement service during working weekdays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or at the DPWH website www.dpwh.gov.ph. The contract shall be awarded to the lowest calculated responsive bid in accordance with Section 61 of RA 12009 and its IRR. The DPWH Bulacan 3rd District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids declared a failure of bidding and not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA's number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Engineer Jomar O. Mendoza, Head BAC Secretariat, DPWH Bulacan 3rd DEO, Bidding Room, Procurement Unit, DPWH Bulacan 3rd Graceville Subdivision, Tambubong, San Rafael, Bulacan, or email him at mendoza.jo@dpwh.gov.ph. You may visit the following website for downloading of bidding documents: www.dpwh.gov.ph and www.philjeps.gov.ph. For online or electronic bid submission, you may send it at electronicbids_bulacan3 at dpwh.gov.ph. That concludes the reading of invitation to bid and the bid data sheet. At this point, may we ask if there are any questions, clarifications, or comments from the member of the BAC, the technical working group, or the prospective bidders present, whether attending in online or in person, regarding the bidding documents or any aspect of the procurement of, of these projects. None. If there are no further question or clarification, we would like to thank everyone for your participation in this pre-bid conference. I hereby adjourn our pre-bid conference meeting. Thank you very much.